Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Dr. John Gray, also known as the Professor Positivity, and welcome to this broadcast of the Power of Positivity. It is such a wonderful pleasure of mine to bring to you someone who has such a powerful story of persistence and resiliency and tenacity. And I'm talking about my sister from London. You heard me right, y'all. From London, Amina Mohamed. Pele, how you doing? Happy Friday, sis. How are you? Talofa to you as well. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And all I'm doing is waiting for my sister to tune in. And when she comes on, I'm going to bring her on because we're going to be talking about positivity and and resiliency and perspective, everything that you need in terms of the ingredients to be positive and move forward in your purpose. She has a powerful story. And although it's in London, as I always say, there's nothing uncommon to humanity. Her story resonates with everybody. And she is a successful person, and she is a driven person, and she is an awesome person. So I am going to be glad when she's able to tune in. She's joining us very shortly. And I just want to just have a few words before she comes on. Um, let me read her bio so when she comes on, we can have those things out of the way. Amina Mohamed is a multifaceted individual. Her journey started in the courtroom. She is a staunch advocate for social mobility and empowerment. She has a unique ability to draw out the best in every situation and empowers others to hold this powerful perspective with her. As a legal professional, she had to encapsulate the best narrative of her vulnerable clients and fight ruthlessly, ruthlessly for their voices to be heard. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, that advocacy. Her role as Stop and Search Legal Project empowered young children to be equipped with knowledge to combat the use of racial profiling by the police. Told you ain't nothing new under the sun, y'all. As an intern at Body and Soul Charity, she worked closely with the destitute families to find resolve to problems where the government had failed to protect them. Told you nothing new under the sun, y'all. Collaborating in team building of the Global Peace and Unity event at London Excel, she mentored young students to successfully meet fundraising targets and build strong relationships. She has also worked with firms in building a strong brand through marketing and communications. As a member of the Young Legal Aid Lawyers, she has joined in many transformational conversations to campaign for sustainable legal aid system which protects the interests of people for profits. She has always stood boldly for others, and now she stands boldly for herself as a mindset mentor and motivational speaker. Described as an empress of energy with a wise soul, her teachings often overlap to spirituality. As a spoken word artist, she has always used language to relay her dynamic messages sent straight from the heart. Her voice can be heard on her upcoming podcast, Aim Power, designed to birth your breakthrough and disrupt the negative chatter. Her vision is simple and her mission is clear. Bring the best of you to life. She dreamed a dream and it came true. That's what I'm talking about. And I am connecting with her now, letting her know that I'm still waiting for her to connect on. That is Amina Mohamed, my sister from London, from the UK, and was her bio. So I'm waiting for her to come on. And there's, hey, Dr. Angie, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Okay. So what I want to talk about very briefly, and I'm bringing Amina on, is that this show is all about positivity. It's all about inspiration. It's all about encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a power in positivity. As you already know, I wear my champion cap because it takes a little more to be a champion. It takes a little more courage, a little more heart, a little more ambition, a little more motivation, a little more positivity, and it takes a little more nerve. Takes a little more inspiration. That's right. I forgot the end, but I put it in there. There you go. So I just want to let you know that There's so much negativity in the world. I always say bad news goes around the world twice before good news gets out of bed in the morning, but not on this show. On this show, we are all about building a positivity. And I am bringing in Amina at the moment. I am bringing in Amina. Amina, are you with me?
I'm with you, John. Good evening.
Hey, sis, how you doing?
I am great and grateful. How are you?
I am doing fine. Welcome from London. Welcome from
Thank
London.
you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Isn't it?
joining us. I before you came on, I read the bio for the good people out there, the Empress of Energy, and I just want to let you know that you have some of your good folks that are on here. Give me your shout out, and
Oh, thank you.
I'm bringing them across the stream. That's the screen now, and you got my sister Pele, my sister Khadija. You got Joanne on here saying hello. She's saying hey to everybody, and
Hey, Joanna. Hey, Khadija. Hey, Pile.
and saying
I'm
welcome.
ready to bring it today, John.
That's right. She said that she loved Amina's energy. Yes,
Oh,
the Empress of Energy. Now, see, I thought I was saying something when I saying I'm the professor of positivity. See, you done took it up a notch. You took it up a
you
notch. You
sometimes
said,
you
I'm
have
the
to. Sometimes you
Empress.
have to.
Sometimes you get,
You
yes,
have to.
sometimes you got to let them know you got it, right?
Yeah, why not? You got to introduce yourself before people introduce you.
That's right. That's right. Brand yourself and don't let other people brand you.
Definitely.
So, I mean, thank you so much for coming on. We met through Les Brown's Power Voice, and you have such a awesome personality. You have a personality that kind of exudes positivity and perseverance. And I thank you so much for coming on to the Power of Positivity. So, what I want to ask right now is tell us a little bit about you. Read in your bio that you're an attorney, but tell us a little bit about you and your journey. Tell us a little bit about Amina Mohamed.
Yes, absolutely. No, so my journey really started in the courtroom. I always was kind of fighting for different people, helping vulnerable clients. And I realized that, lawyers are the best storytellers and they help people and they empower them. But the best part of my job was to actually be there for others. And in helping the people who are most voiceless, I realized that I had become that person. So joining the Power Voice was my opportunity to reclaim my voice and actually start using it to be for a force for good. And I realized that I do have a story to connect with people, and I'm able to actually inspire people through my own story instead of just kind of hiding behind this lawyer facade. Had to take my cape off, John.
There you go. Now, we were talking before we went live, and I asked you a question. I said, are there many black female lawyers in London? And your response was,
Well, when I started off in this industry, it was the most difficult thing. I'm not only just a woman, I'm a black woman. I'm also a Muslim black woman. And that adds to all those different layers of adversity and challenge. And people look at you and they judge you even before they see you. Amina Mohammed, it speaks for itself. And there were so many different challenges being trying to get into the industry and saying I'm good enough no matter where I've come from, in spite of all my challenges, in spite of the color of my skin, and my gender. It doesn't matter. I am good enough, and believing that and holding on to it, tenaciously, and saying that I'm not scared of you.
I love it. I love it. Look at, there's nothing uncommon to humanity. And the things you're experiencing in London, we're experiencing here in the United States. I'm sure there are a lot of women out there who are black women or women of color who are grinding and doing their thing, but yet they face these barriers. And you
Absolutely.
said to the barriers, not today, not
Not
today,
ever.
not ever.
Not ever, John.
You're not
Not
doing
ever.
that. Where does that,
No.
Amina? Where does that tenacity come from?
I think resiliency has always been part of my DNA. My mantra is no matter what, no matter what the circumstances are, quitting is never an option. And I know that's the title of your book, but for me, quitting was never
Yes,
an option.
yes,
You know,
that's
I
right.
was in my I was taught never to give up on my dreams, to dream bigger and harder. And for the things that you want in life, you put in that persistence. You move mountains, and faith creates something inside of you. And that persistence is actually an activating mechanism inside of you. You realize that actually I've got genius inside of me. I've got greatness within me. And I think that persistence builds your strength. And I know you talk about your resiliency muscles. I've got a few. I've been doing my reps.
Yeah, it's literally like you. It's almost like you have to go to the emotional and spiritual gym and work out
Yes,
and get
definitely.
prepared for the things that are coming, because adversity does not stop coming simply because we have good intentions.
No, no,
Yeah,
not at all.
at all.
It
Just yeah,
starts with a good intention.
yeah. Just because we have
It
an
starts with a
idea,
good intention.
yeah, life is not going to just say, okay, here's the golden highway for you. No,
Here
absolutely
you are.
not. So, how did that
No.
process look like for you, knowing that this career choice of yours was not filled with people who look like you, and that there were so many barriers? So, what did that process of completion look like to you?
I think that process really, it was a mental journey more than anything else. It was about having a mindset that I will succeed no matter the circumstances, that I will be a conqueror. For me, it's not just about my journey, it's about leading a field, leading an industry, helping other people to see that I'm more than my circumstance. I'm more than what you see. And you do, okay, come into a room and you introduce yourself as the color of your skin, or your headscarf, but having that ability to say, I am more than what you see. And then you give that person the opportunity to say, look, this is who I am. And just being a force for good, because essentially when you're going through life, you're gonna have those setbacks, you're gonna have those knockdowns, you're gonna have those really, really challenging times. And we all want to increase, we want to grow in different ways, but what are you willing to give up for that increase? You might want more income, you might want more money, you might want a better business, but what is the price of that sacrifice? How are you willing to grow?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amina Mohamed, my sister from London. And I'm just going to say the powerhouse from London, because not only is she an attorney, she's a motivational speaker. She's a mindset motivator. She's an advocate for social justice. She's the picture of positivity. So yes, Amina, the powerhouse Mohamed. What I want you to do, family, for me is hit that share button. You know good and well that somebody other than us need to be hearing this and listening to this. So let us do our first act of service. All you got to do is with a click to your platform, bring other people in, because this is what they need to hear. This is something that they need to hear, because from my perspective in the US, sometimes we just think it's something that we go through, things that we deal with. But adversity is pervasive no matter where you are. So hit that share button and bring somebody in, start a watch party, do what you got to do. Amina, what was it like? And how did your family take you to wanting to be a lawyer? Like, I'm sure you were breaking some barriers because there wasn't a lot of you. So
Yeah.
how did that feel?
It was the most challenging thing, I have to say. I think, when God gives you a vision, when God gives you a dream, you think everyone's going to support you, you think everyone's going to be on your side, but it's never quite like that. It's usually the people that you love most that actually say, let's slow down. Like, we love you and we're trying to protect you. So maybe you should do something else. Maybe you should be a teacher. Or maybe you could get married. Why don't you just stay safe? And it's
Oh
it's
my
when those people say you're crazy to do those things, I say, well, yeah, now I know I'm going in the right direction. When people start calling you crazy, you got something great. You're doing some good in the world. You're not scared to be like everyone else. You have
yes.
that courage inside of you. Cowardice is just, the opposite of cowardice. The opposite of courage is actually just being like everyone else, doing what everyone else does, and just conforming to society. And for me, it was never an option. It was not an option.
Yeah. And to some degree, conformity is cowardice. It really is, because you're not willing to be who you are and be who you were put on this plan to be. We have unique DNA. My fingerprints are my own. I don't share with nobody else. So why am I going along with the herd? I am here to be my unique, authentic self. And that's what you're talking about. But listen, I want to go back to something you said, because you said a mouthful. And family, I want you to throw those hearts up for what I'm about to ask her to get into. Everybody that's close for you is not rooting for you. You said
Mm.
you expected the people closest to you to be your cheering section, and that's not what happened. How did you deal with that?
It wasn't easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it was easy, knowing that, the people I love most were telling me, you can't do this. This is not for you. You should live a smaller life, essentially. Get back into that box that, who you should be, our ideas of you. And it was hard because I had to look at myself every single day and affirm and say, I am enough. We're all born originals, but we die copies because we're scared of actually being who we want to be.
Yes. And something that you said you're not going to lie, it was kind of scary. Talk about that fear, because, Bob Proctor calls it the terror barrier. And so talk about that fear,
Yes.
that real fear, because I believe when we are our transparent, authentic selves, we help people in the journey. So can you talk about that fear?
Fear is actually my friend now. I've made friendship with fear. It wasn't easy, but we had to figure something out because I was like, me and you keep doing this dance, and I need to get to know you better. See, fear really it wakes your mind up. It says, oh, okay, we're out of the safety zone. I need to do something different. Well, stay back, live small. You're doing something wrong, and it's scary doing something that you've never done before, but it also gives you an aliveness. You feel like you're alive. You feel like something is happening inside of you. And, there's a difference between living and feeling alive every single day,
Yeah,
between, growing and dying. And for me, it's all about growing. If I'm not outside of my comfort zone, if I'm not doing something scary, then I sure as well need to be, because I'm not growing. And for me, personal growth is so essential, especially now.
absolutely. And you mentioned that you made friends with fear. You made friends with fear. Speak to that for us,
Yes.
please.
I had to. um, so essentially, fear is our friend. Fear is not what we perceive it to be. Fear is actually feedback. It says, it goes back to your sort of your neurological programming that says, your first kind of intonation is that you want to keep safe. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. And when you step outside and you try and do something dangerous, it's almost like an alarm, and it says, don't do this. We don't know what's going on, just let's get back to safety. But coming back and actually knowing that your mind is more powerful than your body, and saying, actually, we are safe, and I'm doing this because of a deep rooted reason that you need to do it. Fear is actually our friend because it tells you that you're doing something great and you're actually heading in the right direction. And as much as it scares you, it actually fuels you as well. And for me, when I'm doing something scary, I know something great is going to come just around the corner, because and that's how you build that persistency inside of you.
Mhm. And let me ask you a question. What is Amina Mohammed's C type goal? What is that goal that the C stands for crazy to me? And you said it, that crazy goal. What is yeah,
That crazy
people
girl.
say, what is that crazy sweet goal that you have? If I say, Amina, what is that thing that you're striving for that people gonna really look at you and be like, sis, come on now. So what is it?
For me, it is I aspire to inspire until I expire. For many years, I held my voice. And I said this in the summit. I know why the cage bird sings. And for many years, I was the cage bird, sitting there looking at the world, thinking, wow, this is such a beautiful place. I'm safe. I can stay here. I can be here. But realizing that actually there's so much more, and flying, that feeling of flying, being free, for me, it was actually finding myself and finding my voice and knowing that my story has so much layers to it, and being able to speak for others and connect with others, for me, just gives me so much happiness. I love injecting energy into a room. If I've spent more than 5 minutes with you, I'm sure we've had a laugh. I'm sure I've
Mhm.
said something crazy and silly. I'm sure I've made you think and inspired you in a different way. And just as your hat says, champion, for me, it really, it shows who you are.
Mhm.
You are who you believe yourself to be. And for a long time, I was living a small life, believing I couldn't, believing I wasn't enough. And one day I just stepped out and I said, I am enough. And I feel like for so many people, on social media, in this, this social world, we can get so disconnected comparing, and comparison actually is a thief of joy. We get so like concerned in terms of the likes and in terms of all the different things. So for me, it was like saying, I am enough in spite of what you believe, and I am enough, and as are you. There's
Yes.
no, we don't need to compete. We don't need to compete. We celebrate our differences.
Wow, that is powerful. And you got to give me that saying, I'm going to inspire till I expire. Can you give me that full saying again?
Yeah, of course. I aspire to
Aspire
inspire until, yeah, I aspire to
to
inspire
inspire.
until I expire.
Come on now. Come on now. I aspire to inspire until I expire. Y'all listen, y'all better throw them hearts up for that one, y'all. Come on now. I aspire to inspire until I expire. Come on now. Y'all better throw those hearts up. You know what I'm talking about. That's on some Les Brown stuff. Go ahead, Amina. You better listen,
Oh,
you better hit the trademark on that one. You be,
oh, I will.
no, no, you better do it before I do. I'm gonna be on the LLC website and copyright page.
You'll be getting that on done down tonight.
I'm gonna be on the website. They're gonna say, sorry, Ms. Muhammad, that's been taken already. And then I'm
But
gonna be doing t-shirts.
I love your original quote, John. Can you just remind us of it?
Yes. Your
Your
passion
passion.
is your permission to pursue your purpose.
I
Your
love that.
passion is your permission to pursue your purpose.
I think that is
Absolutely.
so powerful.
There's,
That
you
is
need
so,
to,
so powerful.
listen, you need to make some t-shirts out of that one.
Why not?
I, I plan to aspire. I aspire to inspire until I expire. That's what Les Brown said. Don't die empty. Cheat the cemetery out of the greatness. Even Miles Monroe said so much creativity is in the graveyard
Yeah,
because we leave our talent on the table when we leave this earth.
exactly,
Wow.
exactly.
So you are in, as I am, the Les Brown Power Voice mastermind group. How has that experience been for you?
For me, it's been transformational. I think there's a difference between when you speak and when you work on your mind. And for a long time, I wanted to speak, but I didn't have the tools and I didn't understand how I could actually create that bridge. It was almost a bridge, I would say. Actually create that bridge. um and it was like knowing that I was at one point and I wanted to travel to the next point, but I wasn't able to connect how I could use my gift, my speaking abilities, and actually connect that with how can I actually serve people, how can I help and be impactful.
Okay. And from being in this in Power Voice, um, what is the biggest takeaway and change in you that you see?
I think from being in Power Voice, for me, it was almost like I finally accepted everything. I accepted Amina as she is, and I said that it's time for me to help people and to actually do the service. You know, I think this platform is absolutely incredible. When you are a motivational speaker, you know that it goes way beyond you. You have a calling on your life. You have a service to give. It's a duty.
Yeah.
God says, "I chose you, and you need to now deliver." And it's more than just I want to speak and I want to help people. It's about saying I have this calling on my heart. I have this urge, this desire to do more. And when you see so much going wrong in the world, when you see people, losing their jobs, feeling suicidal, people, going through so much chaos, you realize that your voice now more than ever needs to echo, it needs to penetrate, it needs to be heard loud and clear. So these incredible, platforms, they really help to bring light to the world. And for me, that's all I want to really do, bring light to a darkened room. When you're in that darkness and you feel like the walls are closing in, you have to remember the power of your light. You have to remember who you are no matter what. You could fall back 7 times, or on that eighth time, you get up and you say, I can, and I will persist until I succeed. I am a conqueror. For
That's
me,
right.
affirmation has just been like transformational.
Yeah. And I was just about to ask you about that. How powerful is affirmation to you on a daily basis? Speak to somebody who doesn't right now. If there's somebody who does not do affirmation, how would you explain to them the power of self affirmation?
Affirmations is like brushing your teeth for me. It's a daily essential practice, because sometimes the only positive thing you'll hear is what you say to yourself, you
Mhm.
know? So you
Yeah.
have to be willing to say, I'm enough, I am powerful, I am strong, I am a conqueror. I can do more than what I have been doing. And when you get to that place, there's a freedom, because you accept yourself before others accept you. And in a world where, you need likes and you need comments and you need other people's external validation, when you give yourself that internal validation, you realize that you never needed all those other things. And your mindset is the most powerful tool. We become what we think about. And, if you say I am a champion, you will become a champion. I see that for you, John. I see that.
Right. Right. Absolutely. The M in champion is for motivation. And just as you said, Amina, there's extrinsic motivation and then there's intrinsic motivation. The most powerful motivation is that inner motivation. That first motivator is you motivating you. Too often we look for other things to motivate us. And guess what? What if those things aren't around? Then what? Then what do we do? We got to have that inner motivation. I like what you said. It's like brushing your teeth. And I'm thinking how many people
It's a
are
daily
walking around here
practice.
and haven't brushed their emotional teeth. They have
Exactly.
not brushed their
Well,
emotional teeth.
I hope you all have today.
Serious. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, please brush your emotional teeth. Amina Mohamed
Please,
told us that we need to please brush our
please.
emotional teeth. Please.
Absolutely. It's a habit.
Yes, yes,
You
yes, it's a habit. Because can you imagine if we just did? I mean, think about that. That is so powerful, even of itself. We're laughing, but it's true. As you brush your teeth every day because you feel like it's hygienically important, what are we doing every day because it's emotionally important to us for our self edification and our affirmation and self worth? So you're correct. You are absolutely right. I love that. It's like brushing your teeth. So, ladies and gentlemen, Amina told us to brush our teeth, so we got to brush our teeth.
Now, I'm not a dentist, so don't ask me for any tips.
This is Amina Mohamed, and this is the Power of Positivity broadcast. And Amina's website has been scrolling across the screen ever since this broadcast has started. Her website is Amina Inspires. Amina Inspires. Amina, how do you feel? Because I know I can speak for myself, but how do you feel when you connect and resonate with somebody at an inspirational level? How does that feel?
For me, it feels like a blessing. It's like your soul actually finally feels at peace. You feel like you're doing the greater work. You feel like you're serving your community. You're being impactful. You're doing what you were born to do. And imagine you had a gift, you had a talent inside of you, and one day you just wake up and you're like, hey man, I'm actually quite good at this, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It just fills me. It fuels me so much. And for me, if one person in on this broadcast, if one person in the world is impacted by a word that I say, that I know that I've done my greater duty. I've done what I came here to do in this planet.
That is awesome, because it is a higher calling, a sense of duty, because we are. You mentioned that with all the stuff that's going on in the world, more than ever now, those who are called to inspire need to be inspiring people, and that is not a vocation. It is a calling. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. And so I read in your bio that you have a podcast that you're coming through, that you're
Yes.
bringing on. Talk about
Yes. Aim Power podcast. I'm going to be relaunching on the 28th of January. So, yeah, look out, family. And I hope you'll join me as a guest, John. I'll be privileged.
it. Absolutely. I will. If you call me, I will be there. So tell me, what's going to be the primary perspective and function of your podcast? What's going to be the focus and emphasis?
The focus of the podcast is to help people uncover their gifts. See, I truly believe that we all have a gift inside of us. There's something that we were born to do, and everyone has something different to give. So each person comes with their gifts and talents, and if I hold back my gift, then someone else is not going to be able to connect to their gift and to their talents. And it's almost like a community, as you give, you're going to receive more. And it's about actually having that balance in life where you're not just giving, but you're also serving people.
Service. That word is so powerful, and I hear Les Brown talk about service too, because what we're doing is we're adding value to people's lives. Think about this. Entertainers are paid millions of dollars simply for a couple of hours to take people away from their problems, entertain them, and then guess what? When the fourth quarter ends and when the final buzzer sounds and the game is over, guess what? Your life is still sitting there.
Yeah,
How much more valuable are we, who are adding value to people's lives that's going to really impact their lives every day? We're adding value to people's lives by allowing them to be the best versions of themselves. So that is what you are doing, and I am so glad that you've answered the call, that you have decided to be in Power Voice, because you want to not find your voice, amplify your voice. You already had the voice, you're just amplifying it. Because think about this. Think about how the universe works. If we had not made a decision to become part of Power Voice, how would we have ever connected?
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
so think about,
Everything does start with that decision.
yes, it starts
That
with a
one
decision.
decision.
It sets everything in motion. And when we walk in the power of positivity, we set that positive momentum. And then the law of attraction takes over, and then momentum goes from there. So I am so
Absolutely.
glad. Thank you so much. This has been awesome, Amina. This has been an awesome conversation. I feel like I can have a part two with you, because
Oh, thank you so much,
listen,
John.
we can talk simply just about your journey to the legal field, and how
Yeah,
and how that process took place. You have so much to offer
thank you
in
so
terms
much.
of
I'm humbled.
your lived experience. You got so much influential positivity to offer. So thank you for being
I'm
here.
It's my privilege. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you.
Here's what I want you to do for me, Amin. If you can do me a favor. Once again, everybody, this is our sister from London, Miss Amina Mohamed. Her website is at the bottom, aminainspires.com. And Amina, what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to take the stage solo right now and take a couple of minutes to speak to somebody who may be at that barrier of feeling like they're not enough. They may be feeling like they're not capable. They may be facing fear, pushback. So if you could take a couple of minutes to speak to them, I'm going to take off the screen, and I'm going to give you the solo floor. And Amina, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, John. I just want to start with gratitude and just hand it right back to John. I'm so privileged to be here and honored and grateful. You know, the power of positivity really has shifted my whole mindset. And if you're feeling like you're stuck, if you're feeling like you're fearful, if you're feeling like you don't know what to do because you keep going around in circles, know that you have something special inside of you. Know that you are here for a purpose, and that change and challenges, they only come here for a season, only for a time, and that you have something that you came to do in this world. Know that your power is within you, that you have greatness, and that life might challenge you, life might knock you down, but as long as you're still here, that means God is not through with you. God knows that you have something special inside of you. And as much as life can really tear you down, you have to know and affirm your greatness. You know, before anyone believes in you, you have to believe in yourself. Know that you are enough. Know that you are a conqueror, and affirm your greatness. Don't be shy. You know, brush your teeth, family, brush your teeth, brush your emotional teeth, and know that not everyone who loves you will support you. This journey is about a pursuit, and in pursuits you can either spectate and let everyone, you know, climb the mountain without you, or you can rise to the challenge. So I applaud you to rise to the challenge, because everything you need in life is always within you. You have the power of positivity. You know, if this last year has taught us anything, it's that that change happens not for you, but for the greater good of the world. So believe in yourself and know that you can do this. You are a conqueror. You are amazing.
Wow, Amina, that was awesome. Thank you so much, my sister. This is the first of many collaborations, because I know that I am looking at somebody who is walking in their greatness and purpose, and more is coming. So world, watch out, because here comes Amina Mohamed. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
being
John.
here.
Thank you so much.
And,
Thank
and,
you.
and thank you so much, because I know you're 5 hours ahead of us, so it's late where you are. I'm
Yeah,
over
but
here.
you gotta be hungry for your dreams, John.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Persistent.
Indeed. I listen. I in the pursuit of my passion, I'm not taking no for an answer, and that's what I got from you. That that refusal to take no for an answer. I'm not going to be denied my purpose. I'm
Mm.
going to die empty. I'm going to aspire to inspire until I expire. There you go.
Come on, John. You got it.
Yeah, listen, I got it, and you better go to the copyright, because I'm going to get it for real.
Oh, it's gonna be a race to the laptop.
I'm going to be erased to the laptop. Thank you so much, Amina.
Thank you, John. I'm so grateful, honestly.
That was Amina Mohamed on this Power of Positivity broadcast. I hope that you got immense value out of that conversation. My sister is awesome. She is a powerhouse, and she is definitely an inspiration. I mean, if you just you can feel the positivity and the vibrations of purpose coming through the screen when she was talking. So I am so glad that the universe put us together through the Les Brown Power Voice system. And I just thank God that he put us in each other's path, that we can just share our gift with the world. As Amina said, face your fears, conquer your fears, because we are more than conquerors. Thank you so much. This has been the Power of Positivity with Dr. John Gray. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful, blessed day, family.